Heart disease is still the #1 killer of women, causing 1 in 3 deaths each year. One Onalaska woman could have been part of that statistic when excuse after excuse after excuse nearly killed her. Thankfully, bunco saved her life. Here's our In Search Of this week. Take a look.
Are we ready?
It's bunco night for the women in this Onalaska neighborhood.
We rotate houses, and we sometimes have 12 of us, sometimes as many as 30. Ladies' night out, chance to visit, catch up. 1, 2.
Sandy Wiegman is a founding member of the League and has even joked on occasion about the great company she keeps.
Because there are several doctors and other medical people that come to bunco, if anything ever happens to me, I hope it happens at bunco because I'll be in really good hands.
Yeah. Little did she know how true those words would become. Bunco night this past January started like any other night.
Had barely walked in. Somebody had handed me a glass of wine, one of the hostesses, and all of a sudden I just started getting extremely hot. But that's when all the excuses started because I was standing probably 6 feet away from a fireplace, and I'm thinking, why does she have this fireplace on? It's so warm in here.
Sandy quickly sat down, but soon began feeling lightheaded.
And that's about the time that Kelly Barr and Jen Luce walked in the door.
Kelly Barr is a family medicine doctor at Gunderson Lutheran, and Jen Luce works at Mayo Clinic Health System.
I had walked in with saying hi to people, and someone came up and said, you know, can you just take a look at Sandy because something's just not right.
She wasn't feeling good. She was lightheaded.
She looked very pale.
By then I was starting to feel some pressure on my chest.
Kelly and Jen both recognized the symptoms as a possible heart attack and recommended they call 911.
She's like, no, you know, I'll be fine.
She thought she was having an anxiety attack that she has had in the past.
The thought of having a heart attack was not even on my radar. I just thought you had to feel a whole lot worse to be having a heart attack.
You know, she got a little sweaty. She said she was feeling kind of sick to her stomach.
I did wind up vomiting a little bit.
More signs. And again, Dr. Barr advised they call 911.
I argued with Kelly some more and told her, no, I'm just getting the flu, I'll be fine, and excuses all around. And she said, well, then I'm calling Bob.
Sandy's husband, Bob, was in a meeting when one of the women from bunco showed up.
And she said, Bob, you know, Sandy's not feeling well. You really need to get over to bunco where they were playing. So I pulled up in front of the house, left the car running so it would stay warm, and ran into the house, and they took me into the bathroom where Sandy's laying on the floor.
I said, my gut told me, 15, 20 minutes ago that we should have probably called the ambulance.
And we loaded her up in the car and we said, you cannot go home. You need to go straight to the urgent care.
I just kind of, sure, okay, I guess. And Sandy didn't really want to.
Begrudgingly, Bob and Sandy headed to Mayo Clinic in Onalaska.
Within a few minutes, I had an EKG and blood work, and I'm still thinking they're going to send me home. And the doctor came back in and said, you've just had a heart attack.
It turns out Sandy was one of the lucky ones. For the past few months, she's been working with the cardiac rehab team at Mayo.
All right, Sandy, should we do a blood pressure check?
It's like having your own little group of cheerleaders.
Nice and low, 104/60. The symptoms for women are often different than men of heart disease. They may not present themselves as a crushing chest pain, like maybe typical more for men, but may present as fatigue, shortness of breath, or maybe pain between the shoulder blades can all be warning signs for women. Know your risk factors for heart disease, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your family history, tobacco use, as well as age and gender.
I was just very warm, a little lightheaded, pressure on my chest, never any pain. They were such simple symptoms, that you could have any time. That's 5.
Bunco League continues for this circle of friends, but they have all learned a lesson.
Women in heart disease can fool many of us, and so I always tell people, I'm like, you never should regret going into the hospital and having us, send you home and saying, oh, you know what, it was nothing. It was reflux, or it was anxiety, or whatever the case was. But you will regret if you keep that loved one home and don't have them checked out and they do end up having a heart attack.
I go back to being in the right place at the right time because I didn't recognize any of those symptoms, and, thank Kelly Barr and all the wonderful ladies that were there to give me the push that I needed.
And had that not happened, she would have had more permanent heart damage. Things would have been different today.
And is it scary to think about that?
Yeah, she's my very best friend. And I don't know what I would do without her.
It's sort of cliche to say that, you look at every day as a gift or every new day, as a blessing or something, but it's really true. I mean, because it does change your whole life.
In Onalaska with photographer Kirk Arneson, Jennifer Livingston, News 8.
Such a great group of friends that get together still once a month. I actually went with them, and they have so much fun, but it's like they are there for each other when you need to be. And she feels so fortunate that this happened to her in the midst of people who were more knowledgeable about the signs and what to look for.
Right time, right place.
Sandy is the honorary survivor at the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women luncheon in La Crosse. It is an event to help raise awareness and funds to support research, education, and community programs to benefit women's cardiovascular health. That luncheon is next Wednesday. It's from noon to 1 in the cargo room at the waterfront in downtown La Crosse. If you're interested in attending the event or you'd like to learn more, you can check out lacrossegored.org. I am hosting the event. I'm a co-chair of the committee that is setting up this luncheon, and it is a great event. I was there last year. It's not only educational, it raises some great funds, but it's a really good, fun afternoon to spend with coworkers or friends and family. And so you should definitely check out the website. We would love to see you down there next Wednesday. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.